everybody, it's Laura from Green Tree. I know you're not used to seeing me on a Saturday, but we had to move some things around this week. And I actually have an exciting guest here today. We've got Joelle from our community partner, Enlighten Nutrition, and she's going to tell you about a cool event she has coming up before we get to our topic. So, come on in. This is Joelle.
Hi everyone, I'm Joelle. I'm a registered dietitian with a local private practice called Enlighten Nutrition. I'm here today to talk about an event that we have coming up. It's called BYOJ Meal Prep Event. BYOJ stands for Bring Your Own Jar. So attendees will pre-register for the event, and then the day of, you show up with 5 empty mason jars, and we bring all of the supplies, so the ingredients, the recipes, the supplies, all of that to guide you through preparing 5 meals. When the event is over, you actually get to take home 5 healthy, delicious, prepared meals to eat for the remainder of your week. We're really excited for this event. We've done them in Midland quite frequently, but we are bringing it to Mount Pleasant this time, and it's going to be held this coming Tuesday, July 23rd. We have some features that we're going to be featuring at the event as well, so we're going to be getting some of our ingredients and produce right here from the Green Tree, which is awesome. And we're also going to be featuring a local winery, so the winery at Young Farms. This event, we're going to actually have a twist to it, so you'll be able to sip on some wines from the winery at Young Farms while you're meal prepping. So what is better than meal prepping as a group with your community while sipping wine? And again, this event is going to be held on July 23rd, this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. And we're going to hold it at Off-Broadway Performing Arts Studio right downtown here at Mount Pleasant. So to register for the event, you head over to our website. The website address is www.enlightenednutri.com. And that's www.enlightenednutri.com. It's really easy to sign up once you get there. You just click on upcoming events and you can go ahead and register. So we're looking forward to seeing you there, and thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll hand it over to Laura.
Yay, and it's Michigan wine too, so you get to have some goodies from Green Tree along with that delicious beverage. So today we're going to talk about sesame seeds, and I'm going to give you some of the history, some of the uses, talk about the different forms that they come in, and then we're going to pull Joelle back in to talk about the nutrition because, as she said, that is her forte. So we're going to go ahead and just give you the basics. So when you think of sesame seeds, I think most people, in the US at least, are thinking of these little babies. We're talking the little tiny soft kind. These have had the outer husk removed from them, so they're referred to as hulled sesame seeds. And they're the type that you're going to see on top of things like burger buns. Now, all of these are from the same kind of plant family, and it originated in Africa, and that's where you'll find all of the wild varieties. But they were cultivated, primarily farmed and bred for culinary uses in India. So it's a well-traveled plant. These are actually really popular all over the world too. So you'll see sesame seeds being used in East Asian cooking, in African cooking, in Indian cooking, all sorts of different places, Mexican cooking, and obviously here in the US we like to put them on burger buns. There's also quite a few different types. So I'm going to show you another kind that we carry here. These are popular especially in Japanese food. These are black sesame seeds with the hull still on. So these are kind of crunchy. Now sesame has like a kind of a rich nutty flavor to the oil, but the black ones, besides having a little bit of crunch to them, also have a really interesting earthy flavor. Personally, I like to put this kind of sprinkled on top of my fancy ramen dishes, or I'll put them on rice dishes, things like stir fries. It gives an interesting little contrasting pop of color, as well as that cool crunch and earthy taste whenever you come down on one, which is pretty neat. So those are some examples of what the sesame seeds look like. They actually grow in a lot of different colors. They come everywhere from this very pale kind of tan color up through more golden shades and browns and reds all the way up to the crunchy black ones that I showed you. Now, sesame is one of the most oil-filled seeds that's out there. They're really an oil crop in a lot of areas, and Joelle's going to go ahead and tell you why that's not a bad thing, and it's okay that there's a lot of fat in sesame seeds, a lot of tasty fat in sesame seeds. But the sesame oil is really popular. Now this is toasted, So it's got, you can see when I shine the light on it there, it's got this really deep kind of caramely color to it. Plain sesame oil is paler and more golden, and it's got a very neutral flavor compared to the toasted variety. It still tastes of sesame, but you can use it in a lot of different dishes without it overpowering them. The toasted is just a flavor punch. I will often use this as a finishing oil. It doesn't have a high heat cooking temperature because it's already been toasted to bring out that flavor. But a little sprinkle of this at the end of a stir fry, over the top of a salad, in a dressing, is going to give a whole pop of flavor that you're not going to get another way. So, as an oil crop, they make a really delicious oil that you can use in your cooking. Another thing that you've probably had, especially if you like hummus, is tahini. So tahini is essentially the sesame version of peanut butter. This is ground, or hulled sesame seeds, so that fiber has been removed, and it makes this lovely creamy paste that you can use as a spread or a dressing or in your hummus to give it that distinctive sesame flavor. Another thing that you'll see a lot is sesame crackers. They come in all different types. This one's made with the black sesame seeds, so you can see it gives it that dark color. And this one is made with the paler variety, and so you've got these nice little pale crispy crackers. Either way, you get a nice sesame taste that is great paired with mild cheeses or veggies when you want that oomph without adding a lot of extra condiments. And sesame is actually great in sweet things. One of the things you can try if you come down today are these little sesame candies. I don't know if I can get it to focus on this for you guys, but they're little crispy sesame candies with honey and rice syrup, and they're toasted and sweet and nutty and really kind of fascinating. Sesame is actually very popular in baked goods. If you ever get a chance to try some sesame-based baked goods, do it, because it's a really amazing flavor combination with that earthy nuttiness along with the sweet. Finally, sesame seeds are, when you get this flavor, like I said, paired really well with more mild kind of things, but they also lend themselves to smokiness. So if you decide to stop down this afternoon, I'm going to be sampling them with smoked mozzarella. This is a vegan mozzarella from Miyoko, because all of our cheeses, including the non-dairy ones, are 15% off today. So I wanted to give you a chance to try one that you might not have had before. So the smoky Miyoko with that light, crispy sesame cracker is a cool combination that kind of reminds me a little bit of lox, despite the fact that it's entirely vegan. And this is a lovely creamy cheese alternative. So if you want to try that and get out of your normal flavor zone, come down and see us this afternoon. But I'm going to throw this over to Joelle and let her tell you why, even though these seeds are chock full of delicious, delicious fat, they're still really a good thing to add to your diet. So there you go.
All right, everyone. So we will go ahead and start talking about the fat content since that just came up. So they do have quite a bit of fat if you were to look at the nutrition label for sesame seeds or sesame oil. However, there's a couple different types of fats that can really, depend whether you want to increase it in your diet or kind of maybe do it more in moderation in your diet. So sesame seeds and sesame oils are going to have a lot of unsaturated fats. So that may sound like a big sciencey word to you, but basically our unsaturated fats are our more healthy fats. So those are the good ones. And sesame seeds and sesame oil is going to be quite a good source of those. And it may sound scary, fat's kind of a scary word to people, but our body really does need fat to function properly and for all of those processes happening inside our bodies to work well. The other thing with fat is it can actually help you feel more full. So if you were to eat a really low-fat meal, you may feel hungry shortly after that. So adding things like sesame seeds can help you feel more full and more satisfied after a meal. The other point I want to touch on with the sesame oil and sesame seeds is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is another thing that's talked about quite frequently, so I just want to clarify the nutrition information in terms of sesame. So yes, if you were to look at the nutrition facts, you may see that they are quite high in carbohydrates, which could sound scary to some people depending on what you're looking for in your diet. But they are also a really high source of fiber, which helps balance out that carbohydrate intake that you're having. So fiber helps with our digestion, It helps us, again, to feel more full after eating a meal. So really, really beneficial to our diet. So yes, there's going to be carbohydrates, but again, that fiber jumps in to kind of help balance it out in our intake. The last point with sesame oil and sesame seeds are minerals. So a lot of times you hear about vitamins and minerals, and I feel that people typically know a lot of the vitamins in their diet that they're eating and in different foods. But we don't always hear so much about minerals. So these sesame seeds and sesame oils are actually going to have quite a bit of minerals that we need for our body processes. So things like iron and even copper, things like that we don't always hear about. So I highly recommend incorporating sesame into your diet if you can. Just a couple tips on how to incorporate it. If you're going to be eating a salad, let's say, you can add some sesame seeds on top to kind of add a little bit of a crunch and add some fiber, add some healthy fats. We talked some about baking already, but there's always ways you can incorporate them when baking. I know avocado toast is kind of a big thing out there right now. Even something like that, if you just sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds on top, that can add just a little boost to the flavor. So feel free to reach out to Enlightened Nutrition or post a comment here if you have any questions about the nutrition. But thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you, Joelle. She's great. So we're going to kind of wrap this up. One last thing I'm going to mention, if you ever see it, try sesame mochi. The little ice cream treats with the rice wrap around the outside, that rice part's the mochi, and you can get it with sesame seeds embedded in it, and it's actually really good.
And add some nutrition too.
Yeah, there you go. Makes your ice cream healthy.
Yes.
So we shared actually the BYOJ event on our Facebook page. You can find it there if you want to check it out. And like I said, if you want to try some of these sweet sesame treats or the savory paired with smoky cheese, come on down and see me this afternoon. Post any questions you have here. I'll forward them along to Joelle. So I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I will see you in about a week and a half because I'm not going to be here on Tuesday. If you have any questions or suggestions for next time, post those in the comments too. Happy Saturday!
Thanks. Bye!